ようこそ領域挽回。
Hey, anime fans. If you think Ayanokoji Kiyotaka is the kind of guy who can't be matched with anyone, you're only half right. Because let's be real, this is someone who reads people like books, manipulates situations effortlessly, and barely shows emotion. So finding a perfect partner for him, that's not about romance. It's about compatibility on a completely different level. In today's video, I'm ranking the top 5 girlfriends, partners, or even wives for Ayanokoji, from worst to best, based on personality, intelligence, emotional balance, and most importantly, who can actually handle him. Some of these picks might surprise you. Let's get into it. At number 5, we have Hyori Sha. Hyori offers something incredibly rare for someone like Ayanokoji Kiyotaka: peace. She's calm, intelligent, and never intrusive. Being around her feels easy. And for Ayanokoji, that kind of quiet, drama-free connection is almost unheard of. With Hyori, he could genuinely experience something close to a normal life, reading books, having simple conversations, and just existing without schemes or manipulation. But that's also where the problem lies. Hyori doesn't have the assertiveness or the depth of involvement needed to truly challenge him. She wouldn't push him, question him, or dig into the darker layers of his personality. And because of that, the relationship might stay on the surface, comfortable, but never truly deep. It works, but only to a certain extent. At number 4, we have Suzun Horikita. She's one of the few characters who actually grows alongside Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. Thanks to his influence, Horikita evolves from someone isolated and rigid into a capable, strategic thinker, someone who can genuinely stand beside him intellectually. And that's what makes this pairing so interesting. On paper, they work perfectly as partners. Their coordination, mutual understanding, and ability to handle complex situations make them one of the strongest duos in the series. But when it comes to romance, it's a different story. Horikita's strong independence and emotional distance create a gap that's hard to bridge. She's not someone who easily expresses vulnerability, and Ayanokoji isn't exactly the type to close that gap either. Because of that, their relationship feels more like a powerful alliance than a natural romance. It could work, but only if both of them change significantly. Otherwise, they're better off as allies than lovers. At number 3, we have Arisu Sokenji. When it comes to intellect, she's arguably the best match for Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. Arisu not only understands his true capabilities, she fully embraces them. There's no fear, no hesitation. In fact, she genuinely enjoys being around someone like him. That's what makes their dynamic so unique. Their connection is built on mutual respect and constant mental stimulation. Every interaction feels like a quiet battle of minds, where both are fully aware of what the other is capable of. But emotionally, that's where things fall short. This isn't a relationship driven by warmth or affection. It's calculated, controlled, and deeply rooted in intellect rather than feelings. It would absolutely work, but it would feel more like a strategic alliance than a traditional romance. Powerful, but not exactly heartfelt. At number 2, we have Honomi Ichinos. She's almost the complete emotional opposite of Ayanokoji Kiyotaka: kind, honest, empathetic, and someone who genuinely cares about people without hidden motives. And that contrast is exactly what makes this pairing so compelling. In a strange way, she could be the one person capable of stabilizing him emotionally and even morally. Around Honomi, there's a sense of warmth and normalcy that Ayanokoji simply doesn't experience anywhere else. But there's a catch. If she ever learns the full extent of who he really is, his manipulation, his calculations, and how far he's willing to go, the entire dynamic would be tested. The question isn't whether she can love the version of him she sees now. It's whether she can accept the version he truly is underneath. If she can, then she might be the healthiest and most balanced partner he could ever have. At number 1, we have Kayuzawa. And this one is canon for a reason. Out of everyone in the series, Kei develops the deepest emotional connection with Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. What starts as something closer to a control relationship slowly turns into genuine trust, attachment, and loyalty. Unlike others, Kei doesn't try to outthink him or challenge him on a purely intellectual level. Instead, she connects with him emotionally, something almost no one else can do. The most important part is this: she learns to accept his darker side without demanding that he change who he is. That level of acceptance is rare in the world Ayanokoji exists in. At the same time, Kei is one of the few people who actually brings out a more human side of him. A side that doesn't rely on manipulation or strategy, even if only slightly. And that's exactly why she sits at the top, because long-term, emotional compatibility matters just as much as intelligence. She's not just the best match. She's the most complete one. And that's the list. Now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with this ranking, or do you think Ayanokoji's perfect match is someone else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to see how different everyone's opinions are on this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Classroom of the Elite content like this. And don't forget to turn on the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. Because in the end, in a world where everyone is calculating their next move, sometimes, the real question is who's calculating you. See you in the next one.